I am super sad, and let me tell you why. Today, someone I considered a very dear friend, someone I thought would be a lifelong friend, has decided that we cannot be friends because of my vote. To vote red, to vote conservative, to vote for Trump. She felt as though my vote was a vote against her and against women of color and not understanding the repression that they face. Here's the thing. I love this lady. I dearly love her. And I never thought that that would be her reaction. We've always had political conversations. We've talked about these things. We worked together for many years. And I thought that we were above it. I knew we had differences, but I thought we respected each other's differences, but apparently we don't. So I did not vote against you, my friend. I love you. I will continue to love you from afar, but I will not have a relationship with you after the words that you said to me today. But let me tell you this, I stand by my vote. I stand by my vote because it's a vote to protect souls that have yet to be born into this world, babies. I stand by my vote because it's a vote to protect children from being disfigured and dismantled for the name of gender. I stand by my vote because it protects my children from boys and girls sports and hurt that they could get from that, the trauma they could get from that. I stand by my vote because it'll affect the economy. Everybody was living better under Trump. You know that, and I know that. So my friend, I'm so sorry to lose you as my friend, and I loved you very much. But I will not sacrifice my beliefs for one relationship. I love you no matter your color. I love you no matter how you voted. But I will not be talked to that way. I will not be berated, and I will not be accused of voting for evil because you don't agree for it. I stand for my vote.
If you're heartbroken because friends and family have cut you off because of the election and the way you voted, just know your pain and confusion is a direct proportion to the pain and confusion they've experienced over the last 10 years that you chose to ignore.
There is something that I want us to talk about. This has been going on as a debate between many Americans. Imagine having someone and he or she is your good friend. You've been friends for so long. You are now considering him or her as your best friend. And you don't know his or her political interest. And all of a sudden, you discover that this best friend of yours is supporting MAGA, is voting for Donald Trump. And you know all of those changes which are being made by Donald Trump. And some of those changes are denying people of their rights. And you might also be one of those people who are being affected by those changes. Would you go on and be a friend of the same person who is supporting the government that is denying you of your right? Or you would unfriend him? So this is being debated by many Americans, and in this video we're gonna be watching a bunch of videos of Americans and hear what they are talking about, and then we come back and give our commentaries. Make sure that you drop your own opinions down there in the comment section, and then we come back and give our own commentaries. Like the video and subscribe.
Because I want you to hear me when I say with my full fucking chest, if you voted for Donald Trump, I want you out of my life. Because at a base level, I don't care for friends. I don't care for family. Because if I'm going into a future where interracial marriage is even up for debate, I don't want you at my wedding. I don't want you there. If I travel out of state while on my period and my blood condition causes me to start hemorrhaging, and I happen to be in a state where women's health care is so strictly regulated that doctors feel like they can't interfere because any period-related bleeding could be a pregnancy and there's no interfering in that, and I bleed out and die because of the laws that are going to be left up to states' decisions, I don't want you at my funeral. If the Department of Education is defunded and my children can't go to school unless it's at a private institution that we cannot afford, and there's no way to get any assistance in affording this, I don't want you in my kids' lives. And that's just the beginning of it. So honestly, truly, if you voted for Trump, get out of my life.
This video is for anyone who doesn't understand why someone in their life might feel uncomfortable or want to distance themselves or not want to be in your life anymore because of your difference in political views. I just want to give you this example. Imagine you go to a friend of yours and you say to them, this person that I used to be friends with really hurt me, really disrespected me. And your friend agrees with you and they're like, yeah, that was really fucked up. Like, I totally disagree with what they did to you. Like, that's not cool. That's not fair. And then you find your friend liking that person's photo or hanging out with that person. Your friend might not agree with what they did to you. They might recognize that it's fucked up, but it's not a deal breaker. They see the damage that this person has done to you and is continuing to do to you, but it doesn't matter. They're still supporting them because maybe they have a lot of money, or they're really cool, or they have the same hobbies as them. Those things are more important to them than you as their friend. Do you see what I'm saying? It's one thing to disagree with someone on policy, but when it comes to human rights, basic human rights, that's a whole nother story. You might not be racist, but if the politician that you're supporting is, it's not a deal breaker for you. You might not be homophobic, but if the politician you're supporting is, it's not a deal breaker for you. You might not hate women, but if the politician you're supporting does, it's not a deal breaker for you. The people in your life want to feel loved by you, respected by you, safe around you. And if you're supporting someone who makes them feel the opposite, that's going to make them feel that way about you.
Oh, and another thing. Me and you will never be friends if you're voting for Donald Trump. Me and you will never remain friends if you're voting for Donald Trump. It's not a political difference. This is not the 2012, 2004 elections where we just disagree on how the economy should be ran. This is my life. If you are willing to vote for someone who gets to determine whether I live or die if I have complications when I have a child, you will never sit in the presence of me. I had to cut off one of my closest friends because of this election. It is that deep. Anybody can go. I don't care who you think you are.
So you know how there are those people who are breaking up with their boyfriends because their boyfriends voted for Trump, and everybody's like, oh, well, it's just politics. People can have differing opinions. No. Yes, people can have different opinions, but not when it comes to human rights. Like, different opinions when it comes to, like, pizza toppings, or, like, what's your favorite ice cream flavor, or, like, what's your favorite color. Like, different opinions, yeah, that's completely valid. Like, you can't be racist or sexist or homophobic and just be like, oh, well, it's just my opinion. Like, no, it's not an opinion. You're just being a bigot. I just don't understand why this is so hard to conceptualize. Like, why can't people just not be racist? Like, why can't people just not be homophobic? Like, why can't people just not be sexist? Like, it's really not that hard. So the people who are breaking up with their partners because their partners voted for Trump, I think it's valid, because it's not just about different opinions. It's not just about politics anymore. It's about a lot more.
He admitted that he was going to vote for Donald Trump, and that was it. I can't share my life with somebody that's going to support that direction. I mean, this individual is a convicted felon, will say offensive remarks about women, about different ethnicities, and I find it highly offensive. How can this man lead our country when he's in a position of power and will openly insult different groups? It's very offensive.
But I don't know how many people would have gone as far as to split with their significant other because of a political view. Do you regret your decision to leave?
No. I am a strong woman, and I believe that women out there need to be strong and stay steadfast in their convictions. Ladies, we need to band together.
So it's official. My wife is divorcing me. She said she couldn't be with a Trump supporter. Told me I have until the end of the day to get my shit out of the house, get all my things. And she's changing the lock. She doesn't want me back. She said she's taking the kids away from me. Yeah. I don't know what to do.
Christian or not, there is no reason why people should be unfriending or unfollowing people because of their political views. I've posted videos, and I am guilty to it because I have been told to speak the truth no matter what other people may say. And honestly, the amount of hate I've had is way more than I expected, especially from hometown friends and people that I know from surrounding counties. Even on TikTok, people love to comment their opinion, which is completely okay because you know what? We are all entitled to our own opinion. Obviously, the people of America knew that Kamala was not the right fit for our country. Mocking God, allowing men and women's restrooms, women and men's restrooms, saying yes to abortions, and so many other things. And a lot of people figured that out and voted for Trump. I know a lot of people are going to think this is controversial, but as a Christian, we have been told to speak the truth no matter what. And me posting my videos is not me asking you to believe what I say. It's me speaking and voicing what I know is honestly so true. Because I've been called to love you no matter what, and I still do love you. People going back and saying that I've harassed them on TikTok, or that I have bullied them in some type of way, or that I am one to try to push my religion on somebody else is completely a false accusation. Because I have not said anything towards you, and I have not said anything straight to your face. Everything is my own opinion, and you're entitled to your own opinion.
If you voted for Trump, we can't be friends. I heard that and I was like, wow. The thing that resonated deeply to me was, well, the first thing that resonated to me was, you mean to tell me that there are people that are in your life and you don't know where their moral compass is? What would be the purpose of getting rid of them now? You already have a relationship with them. Now is the time to really dig deeper into your relationship, your friendship with them, so therefore they understand a different point of view. It's not okay for them to vote the way that they want to vote, but it is okay for you to continue to allow them in your life without holding them accountable for other behavioral factors that have probably existed in your friendship and that have been there all along. That's your fault, boo-boo. It's your fault. You allowed them in your life for all of this time, right? And you did nothing about it. Let me break it down for y'all a little bit more. You see that woman cheating on her man, but that's my girl. You don't do anything to stop the behavior. You don't do anything to limit the access that they have in your life. You're the superior person. How dare you vote for Trump, right? They're cheating on their man. You allow the behavior. You don't let them know how unethical that is. You do nothing about it. You see how poorly your mother treats your sibling, but you do nothing about it. That's just mama. You know how she is. You don't set boundaries for people in your life. You don't express the things that you need, and these are the non-negotiables. And this is what I would like our healthy relationships look like. How do we compromise and get on the same page about what that looks like going forward? But the moment you find out someone that you knew or someone that you know voted differently, you ready to throw in the towel? I say no. What really needs to happen is you really need to do a self-assessment and figure out, why is it okay for me to allow people that have such a different viewpoint in my life? That's one thing that you could look at, but also really think about the other behavioral characteristics that they've exemplified over the time that you've known them, and how have you held them accountable? You know your mama is fucked up. You know she crazy. But you allow her around your children thinking that, well, they're my kids and I'll limit the access and she ain't gonna do nothing crazy around my kids. But it still goes back to what you allow, what you don't address, what you don't insist changes, or else you approve. How many times have you asked a friend a thought-provoking question and you let them slide with, I don't know? How many times have you shown up with someone or to someone with pure vulnerability and they met you with silence and you didn't express how that hurt? Their silence, how that hurt you? How many times have you allowed your mama to disrespect her sister and you don't say, not on my watch? That's not going to happen. Example, before I called a complete disconnect with my entire family, my mother was disrespectful to my aunt. And my mom told me, actually, my mom didn't tell me about it. I called my aunt told me about it. Then when I followed up with my mom, she was like, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I did it. And I had to let her know. You owe her an apology. And she's like, I'm not apologizing. She was coming at me first. And I'm like, just because she said some foul shit doesn't mean you had to retaliate with some foul shit. The appropriate thing to do is say, what you said was disrespectful and very hurtful. Please don't speak to me that way. Not please, don't speak to me that way. Most people won't have those conversations. But what I did is I took it a step further and was like, and until you make that right with her, don't talk to me anymore. Because if you do it to the least of them, you'll do it to any of them. Right? Does that sound familiar? So if you aren't holding your friends accountable for the little things, right? What the fuck makes you think that they're going to be all so open and honest about the big things? You have to start somewhere. You can start by self-accountability, self-reflection moments, but also you can start from a heart posture of, these are some little things that I've observed. I would love for us to come together and have a conversation about it. Trust me. Do I want to have a conversation with people about how is it possible that almost half of Americans voted for a convicted felon, someone that's been impeached? Let me just stop right there. He couldn't even get a job as a janitor, but we trust him to be the president of the United States. Where is the moral compass in all of this? How is that even right? But again, it goes back to what you don't address, what you don't set boundaries for, what you don't correct. You have given your stamp of approval. So you know what? Your moral compass is out of the window just as much as theirs is, because you have no moral character for yourself. What you don't address, what you don't fix, what you don't set boundaries for, you absolutely allow. So again, don't start cutting off your friendships because of the election. It's what you allowed. Shame on you for not doing your due diligence and saying, you know what? These are the things that are unacceptable in my life. These things are unacceptable for people that I associate with and spend my time with. That's your fault, not them. Reassess their friendship. Try to understand what their reasons were. Their reasons are their reasons, but you should have known it before it got to this point. So shame on you. But do your job. Self-reflect. Set those boundaries so you know who the fuck you dealing with in the future.
One of the biggest lies that I see on social media a lot is MAGA Republicans saying you shouldn't lose friends over politics. You are losing friends because of your morals, because you're not standing up and saying, I'm not going to vote for a man who would rape or grope women or assault them in any way. You are losing friends because you are allowing the kind of rhetoric that he spreads, which is hate and divide and racism. You are not losing friends because of politics. You're losing friends because you are supporting a man who is deplorable, who makes fun of special needs, who makes fun and makes racist comments, who degrades women and posts horrible, horrific sexual comments about women. And then I see you guys say, it's not a popularity contest. Yeah, he says crazy things sometimes, but that's not what I'm voting for him. His character matters. The president's character matters because it affects policy and it affects every single person in the United States of America. And it affects how other countries view us and look at us. If you're voting for Donald Trump, you're voting the same way as the KKK and literal schmutzies. So I guess you never have to wonder how you would have behaved during Schmittler's reign, because we know how you would behave. You would have been getting in line, raising that right arm high, telling people where the Jews are hiding. That would have been you, because you are failing to see how you are supporting a deplorable human being, and that is the reason why you are losing friends. All my love.
Guys, this is a topic that we can have a long discussion about, and I've written some key points that we're gonna talk about here in this video. First of all, I will say that this is a very tough situation because friendships are built on trust, shared experiences, and mutual respect. But when you suddenly find out that your best friend supports a political movement that goes against your values, or worse, actively supports policies that harm you or people like you, it changes things. It makes you question, does this person truly care about me? Do they understand what their political stance means for people like me? Or if they do understand, why do they still support it? These are the questions that many Americans are asking today, and that's true, guys. If somebody truly believes that you are having this connection, you are friends, there's no way he will be supporting a political movement that is denying you of your right. And this is my own opinions, guys. Some people have other different opinions, but that's what I think. If someone is your friend, it means that he cares about you. He wouldn't be supporting a movement that is denying you of your right. That's one point. Another point. Some people would argue saying that political differences shouldn't ruin friendships. They can say, we can agree to disagree. They believe that just because someone votes for Trump or supports MAGA doesn't mean that they are a bad person. That's true. Somebody can support Trump and vote for MAGA while he's not a bad person. Let me agree that. They can also say that they are supporting Trump just for economic reasons. Some people separate politics from personal relationship because they think friendship should be about connection, not voting choices. But the problem is, what if those political choices have real life consequences for you? What if they affect your job, your safety, and your future? At what point does it stop being just politics? Guys, I truly understand that you can be friends with someone and you're having different political interests, but there's some limit. At this point, we are looking at politics that is affecting people's rights, that is affecting people's jobs, that is affecting people's future. This is no longer politics because it is now getting into personal life. Now, another third point here. On the other hand, many people believe that supporting Trump, especially after seeing the damage his policies have caused, isn't just a political opinion, but a moral stance. If someone votes for a leader who is pushing policies that take away people's rights, then supporting the leader means they are okay with those policies. Here, I will say that if you know that this specific leader is going to stop some specific light for people, I will say that it's no longer a political opinion. It's gonna be a moral stance. Because somebody who is having moral values wouldn't support a leader who is denying people of their rights. That's what I can say. Now, talking about those rights, we can talk about the immigration laws, healthcare restrictions, racial discriminations, or economic struggles. How can you stay friends with someone who knowingly supports that? It's like saying, I care about you as a person, but I'm okay with voting for someone who makes your life harder. That's where many friendships are breaking apart today. So you cannot come and convince me that you are my friend. Why know that the leader you are supporting is gonna make me lose my job in the future? There will no longer be friendship there. And let's be real. America is more divided today than ever. Because politics isn't just about policy anymore. Now it has become personal. MAGA is no longer a political movement. It has become a cultural identity. People feel strongly about their side and they aren't afraid to defend it. Friendship, families, and even marriage have fallen apart because of these divisions. Yes, you all have watched the previous videos. People are breaking up with their boyfriends. Children are cutting off their parents, their families just because they're having different political opinions. And this is true because you cannot become a partner while you are supporting a leader who is denying me of my rights. And for many, it's not just even a debate anymore. If someone openly supports a leader who is harming people, then they see it as a betrayal. And that's why this debate keeps coming up. Because people want to know, is it possible to stay neutral in a situation like this? Guys, let me ask you this question. Please guys, tell me what you think down there in the comment section. Is it possible to stay neutral in a situation like this? Now, at the end of the day, this is a personal decision. Some people can separate politics from friendships while others can't. But one thing is clear. Politics today isn't just about the government. It's about values, rights, and the future of people's lives. So, ask yourself, if someone supports a leader who is hurting people like you, can you still consider them as a true friend? Or is that a line just can't be crossed? Let me know in the comments. Would you still be a friend with a MAGA supporter? Or is that a deal breaker? Let us talk about it down there in the comment section. And please guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more discussion like this. And this is Mr. TA signing off. Ciao.